Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Blvd. Well, hello once again, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. I've got my good buddy, as usual, and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Blvd, on the other end of the line.
Hey, Howie. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Should we discuss our football team's woes?
Yes, the beginning of December, and the Eagles are no longer 3-0. It's no longer Pennsylvania, and I have to watch Dallas win every game. So
that's got to kill you.
It does. It kills everybody in this part of the country. But
my Hawks kind of bounced back yesterday at the Sunday night game.
There you go. All right. So there's your football update. That's it. The podcast is over.
All right. Well, today I think we discussed preparing for your next year's marketing.
Yeah, this time of year, the holidays every year, the time frame in between Thanksgiving and January 1st is a time when dentists will look back and they'll pretty much measure how they did. They'll say it was either equal to last year, less than last year, or better than last year. And it's funny, no matter what the answer is, you still have to prepare for your marketing year. It doesn't. Yeah. If you were slower, you better prepare.
Right.
If you're
and this is assuming they have accurate metrics too, which is not the case.
Well, I'm talking about production. It's not hard. You can tell from a production standpoint whether you're flat, you're low, or you're up. But no matter what the scenario is, a smart dental business person still says, I have to prepare for my marketing for next year. So a couple of podcasts ago, we actually released marketable attributes scorecard, which if you go to our website, if you go to dentalwebcontent.com and go to resources, free downloads, you can download the marketable attributes scorecard. That scorecard is a little tiny piece, a very tiny piece of an overall marketing plan. So today what we wanted to do is we wanted to spend 15, 20 minutes going through the sections of an overall marketing plan. We're going to basically tell you how we do it, all right? So the first thing that you do is you look at all of your marketable assets, your marketing assets. So when I say asset, what does that mean? That means, what have I paid for in the past that is still working for me? And an example, a really classic example would be, let's say, a website. You may have paid for your website 4 or 5 years ago, but it's still sitting there working for you, right? You may have paid for, you may have one of those subscription services where you text and email your patient base, your recalls and your appointment reminders. You've already paid for that. What are some other marketing assets that you may have already paid for? You may have already paid for internal promotions to your existing patient base that you have on hand to teach them about all the services that you do.
Right. You may have also paid for a sign, or either outside or in-office signage.
Yeah.
Marketing brochures that describe the various treatments that you have to offer that you hand out to patients. All of that stuff could already be existing and continuing to work or not work, as the case may be.
Right. So you line up all your assets. Say, okay, here's my assets. Then you line up the things that you own that might be liabilities. And everything that we just mentioned could be in the asset or the liability category. If they're in the liability category, use some of your budget this coming year to fix the problem, right? So once you have your assets in front of you, you say, okay, well, what did my marketing assets that I have in front of me, what did they produce in new patients and average revenue per new patient for last year? I mean, you're going to measure your numbers for this year anyway. You might as well measure that number. And if that's not supportive of your goal, or if that's not supportive of your capacity. So there's two things in play here. One is your overall goal. Dentist goals change from dentist to dentist. We have dentists who have been in practice for 30 years who would rather not see another 2 or 3 surface composite for the rest of their career.
Yeah.
Okay.
or a kid.
Or a kid, right? And they want to just do the fun stuff, right? That's a different goal. It's a totally different goal than the 30-year-old dentist who just got out of school, who is just purchased their first practice and they're 1 year into their practice and are just trying to build a rapport with the existing patients and get their referral rate up. Okay. Those are two completely different scenarios, two completely different sets of goals. So what are your goals and what are your capacities? Because it's one thing to have a goal. It's one thing to say, I want 75 new patients a month. And then another thing to realize that you have nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
Okay. So capacity is another issue. So now for many of you, this isn't really that, this consideration at this point is not that difficult. If you are not booked out 8 work days, if the doctor can be seen within the next 8 work days, you still have capacity that can be filled. If you're already 8 work days out, you need to expand capacity and then go to work on your marketing plan. You never market through more than 8 days of capacity. Okay. Now we get to budget. So what you do, this is exactly what we do. We look at your assets, we look at your capacity. And then we look at your numbers. So you come to us and say, well, last year I produced $800,000. Okay. What we do is we multiply that times 5%. 5% of $800,000 is $40,000. And then we say to the doctor, if you did 800,000 last year, what do you want to do next year? And the doctor would say, well, if I did 800,000 last year, I want to do 900,000 this coming year. Okay. So we multiply 900,000 times 5% and you get $45,000. So in this case, with this scenario, this doctor's total marketing budget, expenses for everything in the marketing category should be no less than $40,000 and no more than $45,000. Budgeting is simple. Paying for it is painful. Budgeting is a number. It's not a marriage. It's not a certificate. It's not a blood oath. It's not a handshake. It's a budget. It keeps you in line. It keeps you, honestly, from overspending. Because given the ability to do so, a dentist will almost always overspend for their marketing because they're not getting the results they want.
Right.
And they keep throwing money at the problem.
I should throw more money at it. It's not working.
That's right. Sorry for our laughter, but we hear people say this all the time, and they call us and they say, "Wow, Anyway, so budgeting 5% of trailing 12-month revenues to 5% of goal revenues. That's your range. That's your range for next year. Stay within that range. So in our scenario, we had 40,000 to 45,000. Now the question is, what do we have to allocate? Where do we invest that money? Do we put it all in the radio? Do we throw it all into a 1-second Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah. The answer to those is no. Okay, obviously. Right. So how do we allocate it? Like how much do you put into internal? How much do I put into the internet? How much do I put into offline? How much do I put into online advertising? It doesn't have to be confusing. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the 3 primary principal foundational staples of your practice are absolutely rock solid, better than anyone else in your market. Those 3 staples are internal promotion, the internet, your website specifically, and some form of properly targeted offline promotion to your local community. 99% of the time, that means mail. So those three pieces working in tandem, orchestrated, blended together, those three, if you don't dominate your market in those three, you have no business investing your money anywhere else. Do you agree with that, Howie?
Yeah, I do, because from 27 years of experience, we realized that the violations of that sort of foundational rule lead to a disaster usually.
Right. Right. Nice word, pal. No, it's true. It's just all it does is add risk.
Yeah.
And the more you stay now for the dentists out there who maybe they're in their mid 40s, early 50s, they still got plenty of years left. They want to rock and roll. They have a solid, rock solid foundation. They have their internals. They have their web and their SEO. Everything's all cranking. They have a great mail campaign going. It's driving high quality targeted traffic to their website on a continual basis. Things are just cranking along. If they still have capacity to fill, well, then you can go into alternate media types. Maybe you might want to put $1,000 a month into Facebook, a PPC campaign on Facebook, or into Google, or you might want to go, maybe there's a print media, a viable print media near you. Who knows? You can start to branch out, but not until that foundation is, you need to use that foundation to go out into your local market area and claim it as yours. And when I say your local market area, I don't mean the shoppers. I mean the moms who won't choose a healthcare provider based primarily on price. Okay?
Right.
That's your market. Go claim in 2017. Go claim that market as yours. Let everybody else go use price.
Right. Now that's a very good point, Mark. Let me take a second to explain what happens if you violate that. For example, say you haven't got the three basic fundamentals in place to a workable degree, and you think to yourself, maybe I can just make a big shot out into my market area in order to claim it with a radio campaign. Okay, that doesn't sound crazy, but it oftentimes doesn't work, because the people out there in your market area that you want to claim don't know who you are yet, really. And so if you send an audio message out, a broadcast message out, it'll just bounce off them. What the foundational principles do, the internal and especially the direct mail and the website, is you gain a familiarity in that area that you want to claim, at least some familiarity. And then, because you're in their mailboxes, and your signage is visible, and your patients are talking about you, so you've already established yourself to some degree. All we're pointing out is don't blow it by trying to skip several steps ahead.
Right. That's just follow the plan. in 76ers land, it's called believe in the process.
Yeah.
So now we have three big guys and we have no idea what to do with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we're getting back to your plan. Okay, so now you have your marketing plan and you have 45. Let's say it's 40 to 45,000 to spend. So if it were me, I would say I would put probably 5% of that, maybe 8%, somewhere between 5 and 10% into internal. An internal promotion expense might be Smile Reminder, Lighthouse, Demand Force, those types of systems. That's fine. You may actually, dental web content, one of our products, is a great example of internal promotion. You can use it for external promotion as well, but that would be a great example of internal promotion. Now we go after internal, we go external. We still have 90% of our $45,000 budget left. What do? Well, if you already have your assets, and remember we started with assets, right? Well, I'm going to go look at the website. I know as our advisory team, that's one of the first things we do is we go look at the website. The website is something that will change over time. It always morphs. It always ebbs and flows. But we want to make sure that if we do offline promotion and drive good targeted traffic to the website, is the website ready for prime time? Is it going to receive that traffic in such a way and convert them into new patient appointments? That's something that's, you don't want to build the rest of your house on a cracked foundation, right? If your website is truly an asset, you've already paid for that. You don't have to pay for your website again. If your SEO person is really positioning your website properly and you're coming up really well in Google on a first page search for most of the keywords and phrases for your local market, that's fine. That's already an asset that you've already purchased. You're probably going to continue to spend 10 to 15 grand a year on your website. That's fine. That's not out of the ordinary. You still have 30 or 40, maybe $30,000 left over. We're putting that money into mail.
Yeah.
Not specific, not postcards, especially not postcards. But a properly designed, and this is key, properly targeted, properly deployed, proper timing, proper volumes, keyword proper. Everything has to be done right in order for it to become predictably successful. If you pull one of those qualifiers out, you lose all the success. If you leave all the qualifiers in, you're always, 96% of the time you're going to have success. So we would put 50 to 60% of that budget into offline targeted direct mail. We would put about 35% of that budget into the internet, maybe a little more. Maybe we pull a little bit from mail and put some more into the internet, maybe a pay-per-click campaign. And then the remainder would just go to internal. And that's how we would build our marketing plan for 2017 based on a marketing budget of $40,000 to $45,000 a year. We could put it all in radio. We could put it all in Google AdWords for dental implants. We could put it all on TV. But every other iteration of where we put it would present more risk to us. And Howie and I are no different than you guys and gals. We don't want our marketing dollars to go to greater risk than need be.
Right.
Right. Well, we sponsored and promoted a seminar. Howie and I did a seminar on how to pee your money away in 100 easy steps, right, Howie? Remember?
Yeah, but look really cool doing it.
But look really cool doing it, right? Yeah, we didn't get anybody to those seminars. Nobody wanted to sign up for the seminar on how to do things the wrong way. So anyway, while you're you have this time, hopefully, between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and you're pondering what you're going to do for 2017, I just gave you the steps that our advisors use. I mean, they analyze the market area, look for the places of opportunity, look for the places where it's going to be really tough. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they do, but for the framework, we just gave it to you. Now you could also, if you wanted to, you could log on to New Patients Inc. and click that little rotating iPad. It's at the very top of the web page, and our advisors will do this for you. I mean, you don't have to be a customer to build a marketing plan for you. We do this all the time, and there's no fee for it. So it's just a document on what Howie and I think you should do with your marketing dollar. A conversation to explain it, and then you make up your own mind what you want to do.
Mark, we're going to take a little break here, and when we get back, there's a little bit more we'd like to give our audience about the marketing plan and its function and use. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
We hope you're enjoying our podcast. Let me ask you, do you have a roadmap for your marketing? Why not let New Patients Incorporated do it for you? Our marketing plans have been proven effective for over 27 years for hundreds of practices across lots of different countries. We will give you the marketing data for your area, a marketing budget. We'll show you how to allocate your budget, and then we will show you the proper deployment strategies for each medium. Click on the header where it says Complimentary Marketing Plan when you go to www.newpatientsincorporated. Okay, here we go. We're right back again. We're talking about marketing plans and your plans for the coming year, and allocation of budget and marketing mediums and that sort of thing. So we're going to continue to discuss this a little bit in relation to perhaps, hopefully, you're thinking about what are you going to do with your marketing budget next year?
Yeah, and we'll pick right back up. It's now that you have your marketing plan, what are some ways that you can conserve resources, money, time, staff? What are some ways that you can get a better pull from your investment no matter what you invested in? So let me just quickly go through the list because this whole list should be part of your marketing plan, really. Okay. So let's go back to our example. Let's say that, okay, we 45K a year, revenues at 800, they want to go to 900. Let's say you already have an asset of a website and an SEO person. That's fine. You need a good, solid, targeted offline promotion. That's a mail campaign. And we're going to do some more internal promotion. That'll pretty much consume our entire budget. Maybe there's a little bit left over. So if there is a little bit left over, what should I use it for? Well, I would definitely have a call tracking number on those mailers. That's very, very inexpensive. I've already mentioned DWC. If I had a website and I didn't have the ability to schedule appointments from my website, that's very affordable. It's $99 a month. It's just ridiculously affordable. I know that's scary to some people, but you look into it some more. It's not scary. And the customers we have on it, and actually their staff would revolt. They would quit if we took it away. If that gives you any indication, okay? So don't discount that. Isn't it cool to have 24/7, 365 appointment service?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I mean, think of the labor expense that you don't have.
Oh yeah, well, I don't even look at the labor I don't even look at the labor savings because the labor is going to be there doing something else, probably spending time with your patients face to face like they should anyway. But I don't even look at the labor expense side. I look at the other side, at the opportunity loss, because you know as well as I know, Howie, 19.8% of all new patient phone calls go to a voicemail as hangups.
Yeah, that's right.
And in these offices, less of those hangups are happening. Yeah. And that's, if you talk about transferring in an affordable manner, increasing the value of whatever marketing you're doing, that's pretty obvious. That's as close to a no-brainer as you can get.
That's the easiest thing I was just going to say that. That's
right.
The easiest thing to do to increase your marketing punch and effectiveness by, 20% almost.
Exactly. So now the other things, I mean, we have Crusader too. So you can real easily, you know how hard it is to get Google reviews, your patients to leave you reviews. You ask them, your staff asks them. You go to a course to learn how to ask them. You get all excited for a week. You do it for a week and then you forget, and then it never happens, and you end up with 4 Google reviews at the end of the year anyway. So for all of you dentists who have already been through all that, we have this system called MPI Crusader. It basically does it for you. Stop going to courses. Just use Crusader, and your patients will get texts. You'll get a smiley face or a frowny face. Frowny face responses go to you. Smiley face text responses go to Google. God bless America, all of a sudden you own the Google war in your marketplace and you don't really have to do anything. That's the beauty. I told the dentist the other day, I said, your entire office could call in sick and your patients are still going to leave you reviews. He laughed.
Exactly. It's all automated.
It's all automated. Anyway, so if you do have any room left in the budget, like these aren't primary things. These are, but they're really affordable, really important secondary items, right?
Right.
But if you want our team, we have a team of advisors here. If you want our team to build your 2017 marketing plan, just go to newpatientsinc.com, click on the little rotating iPad at the top, answer the, there's 55 or 60 questions there. If you're doing it over the holidays, get a nice meal, maybe a coffee, a couple of pieces of chocolate, have your grandkids in your lap and fill out our survey of questions. And then, in about 2 or 3 days, you'll see a document come into your email, and an advisor will probably call you to set up a telephone time and just go through the marketing plan with them. That's all. And if it's something you want to do through us, awesome. If it's something you want to do through somebody else, hey, at least you have the right marketing plan.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here for today. Thank you, Mark, for being on that end of the country and holding things down. And we're grateful that we have the audience that we have. It appears to be growing. So
3,000 of you crazy people.
Really? Yeah.
Don't you have a life? Like, come on, you're listening to Howie and I.
Poor them.
I know.
Anyway, until next time, hallelujah. Bye now. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.